There is an invisible architecture to your reality, a silent, vibrating framework that you interact with every single second of every single day, often without even knowing it. You feel it, don't you? There is a subtle magnetic resistance standing like a glass wall between where you are right now and the life you visualize in your deepest moments of clarity. You reach out, you strive, you push, but the distance remains. We are taught to believe that this resistance is external, that it is the economy, the timing, the people around us, or bad luck. But the ancient codes of consciousness and the modern revelations of quantum mechanics whisper a different truth. The blockade isn't out there. It isn't a wall built by the world. It is a frequency being broadcast from within. It is the grip. Think about your current approach to life. How much energy do you expend trying to micromanage the chaos? We live in a culture that worships the grind, the hustle, the relentless pursuit of dominance over our circumstances. You might have your routine dialed in with military precision. You wake up, you do the gratitude journaling, you visualize the outcome, you drink the water, you execute the plan minute by minute. On the surface, it looks like discipline. It looks like the path to success. But look closer at the energy fueling those actions. Underneath the checklist, is there a rhythmic hum of anxiety? Is there a frantic heartbeat saying, if I stop, everything falls apart? This is the great paradox of creation. The very act of trying to control every detail, of trying to wrestle your destiny to the ground and force it to submit, generates a specific vibrational signature. In the language of the quantum field, you are broadcasting a signal of lack. You are screaming into the void, I do not have this yet, so I must force it. And the universe, which is nothing more than a giant impartial mirror, responds with absolute precision. It reflects that struggle back to you. When you try to haul the universe into your agenda through sheer force of will, the gears of reality grind to a halt. The more you attempt to steer the river of life upstream, the more the current pushes against you. You might feel empowered in the moment. You might feel like a warrior fighting for your dreams. But tension is often disguised as determination. True power is not tension. True power is flow. When your internal broadcast is set to, I must keep everything in order or I am not safe, the quantum field detects the frequency of danger. It mirrors back stillness. It mirrors back friction. It denies you the flow because you are not embodying flow. You are embodying a dam. This is why you feel that heaviness in your chest. This is why the breakthrough feels perpetually 5 minutes away, but never actually arrives. You are running on a treadmill of your own making, sweating, striving, crying out for change, but energetically you are standing completely still. Why does this happen? Why does the universe seem to punish effort? It doesn't punish effort. It honors resonance. There are energetic laws operating behind the scenes of your physical reality, mechanisms as real as gravity but far more subtle. The first mechanism involves your nervous system. Your biological vessel treats the obsession with control as a survival threat. When you are hyper-focused on outcomes, obsessively checking for results, your nervous system whispers to your cells, we are not safe. The predator is near. Contract. Defend. You enter a state of biological contraction. Your energy field shrinks. You become dense, heavy, and matter-based. Meanwhile, the quantum field, that infinite web of potential energy that connects all things, is listening. But it does not listen to your words. It does not care about your carefully scripted affirmations or your vision board. It detects the frequency you are emitting. It reads the subatomic signature of your feelings. If your words say, I am abundant, but your stomach is tied in knots and your heart is pounding with the fear of poverty, the field receives the signal of fear. It receives the signal of forcing. And because the field is non-judgmental, it simply organizes your reality to match that feeling. It gives you more reasons to feel tight. It gives you more circumstances that require forcing. Control, at its core, undermines alignment. You might truly desire expansion. You might want the healing, the relationship, the financial freedom. Your conscious mind is screaming for a breakthrough, but the vibration behind your actions is tethered to fixing what is wrong. When you act from a place of trying to fix yourself or your life, you are inadvertently affirming that something is broken. And in the quantum realm, what you resist persists. If you focus your energy on the problem, even with the intention of solving it, you are feeding the problem with your attention. You are anchoring that timeline into place. This resistance isn't an external enemy. It is your own frequency echoing back to you in a loop. You cannot break this loop with more spiritual hustle. You cannot meditate your way out of it if the meditation itself is just another item on a to-do list meant to control the outcome. The universe can smell the desperation on you. It knows when you are meditating to get something rather than meditating to become someone. As long as the core frequency is fear, fear of not enough, fear of failure, fear of the unknown, your reality will be a high-fidelity rendering of that fear. The only way out of this labyrinth is not through finding a better map or running faster. It is to stop running altogether. It is a fundamental shift in posture. It is moving from the energy of forcing change to the energy of inviting it. It is the shift from gripping the steering wheel until your knuckles turn white to loosening your hands and realizing the vehicle knows the way. It is moving from shouting orders at life to whispering, "I trust what wants to emerge." This is not about passivity. This is about potency. Surrender, in this quantum context, is often misunderstood. The ego hears the word surrender and thinks defeat. It thinks giving up. But true energetic surrender is the exact opposite of giving up. It is the calm center of the storm. It is the profound knowing that what you desire is already seeking you. It is the realization that the version of you that has already achieved the dream exists right now in the quantum field, and the only way to merge with that version is to match its frequency. That version of you is not stressed. That version of you is not trying to control the how. That version of you is at peace. As we journey deeper into this understanding, we are going to unravel the specific mechanics of how this works. We are going to look at how energetic surrender is actually the most powerful activation of possibility you can perform. We will explore how releasing your grip opens channels that your control was strangling. We will see how miracles, those unexplained, non-linear leaps in reality, do not arise from your force, but from your frequency. So, take a moment right now. Pause. Can you feel the tension in your shoulders? Can you feel the subtle tightness in your solar plexus? That is the energy of I must. That is the energy of resistance. It isn't courage, it's fear in a costume. The invitation now is to begin the process of untangling that knot. When you release the urge to fix, the flow returns. It is your natural state. The river creates its own path. You just have to put your boat in the water and lift the oars. There is a profound energy that has the power to shift everything in your life instantaneously. It is not effort. It is not discipline. It is not rigid will. It is release. Release is the gateway. Release is the signal that tells the quantum field, I am ready to receive. It is radical trust in action. It is the art of stepping back so that the universe can step in. It is the realization that life is not a puzzle you have to piece together with force and frustration. It is a river you align with by yielding to its intelligence. You are not done trying because you are lazy. You are done obstructing the flow. You are moving from the Newtonian model of reality, cause and effect, force and exertion, into the quantum model of reality, which is causing an effect. In the quantum model, you do not go to the destination. The destination comes to you, but it can only come to you if there is space for it to land. Control occupies all the space. Worry fills every corner of your room. Surrender clears the floor. Surrender opens the windows. Science and spirituality are converging on this single point. Dr. Joe Dispenza, a pioneer in this intersection, reveals that intention is vital. Yes, you must know what you want. You need a clear target, but intention is incomplete without surrender. Intention gives the form to the desire. It is the blueprint, but surrender gives it life. It is the breath. Intention sharpens your focus like a laser, but surrender softens your energy like a warm light. The quantum field waits for the marriage of both. It demands clarity of vision paired with the spaciousness of presence. Without that anchoring softness, your desire is just a projectile. It collides with the tension of the world. It presses against the very flow you seek to harness. You are throwing rocks at a wall, hoping to break through, instead of becoming the water that flows under the door. This marriage of intention and surrender is a form of alchemy. It is where your mind aligns with the specific details of what you want, and your heart embodies the feeling that it is already yours. It is a state of grateful receiving before the manifestation appears. The quantum landscape does not respond to your urgency. In fact, urgency repels it. Urgency implies time, and time implies separation. The field responds to your vibrational alignment. If your frequency carries the undercurrent of anxiety, even spiritualized anxiety, where you are anxious about whether you are manifesting correctly, it overrides the clarity of your vision. The universe is a feedback loop. It mirrors back your deepest vibration. If your deepest vibration is, "I must make this happen," the universe hears, "I do not have this." And so, you continue to not have it. Consider the observer effect in quantum theory. We know that the act of measuring a particle influences its behavior, but in the laboratory of your life, it is not just the act of looking that matters, it is how you look. If you are observing your reality with clenched fists, analyzing every lack, judging every delay, you collapse the infinite possibilities into a form that echoes your internal tension. You freeze reality in its current state. But if you measure your life with open arms, with a heart that is ready and a mind that is clear, you invite reality to shape itself around your resonance. You stop forcing the particle to be a particle, and you allow it to be a wave of infinite potential until it chooses the best form for you. Picture a delicate, iridescent butterfly resting on a flower. This butterfly represents your deepest desire, your dream, your healing, your abundance. If you run toward it and try to grasp it with a clenched fist, what happens? You crush the very thing you wanted to possess. You might hold the pieces of it, but the life, the beauty, the essence is gone. You killed the flow by trying to own it. But if you stand still, if you radiate calm, if you open your hand and simply exist in a state of peaceful invitation, the butterfly may land on your palm of its own accord. This is the dance of release. It is not choked control. It is calm openness. It is letting what you seek come to you with natural grace. When you finally understand that tighter control does not bring flow, but release does, you begin to reclaim the true rhythm of creation. You stop pushing the tide and start moving with it. You realize that miracles do not arrive because you forced them into existence. They emerge where your vibration aligns with the unseen pattern that was already forming. The pattern is always there, swirling in the potential, waiting for a matching signal to lock onto. Let's bring this down from the clouds and into your daily reality. Perhaps you have structured your personal growth perfectly. You have the timed affirmations, the scheduled meditations, the to-do lists of intention. You are doing all the right things, yet there is a hollow undercurrent of compulsion behind it all. You are doing it because you feel you have to in order to fix yourself. Release doesn't dissolve your purpose. It dissolves the panic. It dissolves the underlying belief that you must scramble to become worthy. That is the real shift. It is the move from "I must change this because I am not enough" to "I allow myself to be whole now, and from this wholeness I expand." In that allowing, the resonance shifts. This is not an absolute answer or a rigid dogma. It is an invitation to experiment with your own energy. Let your mind hold the vision. Keep the picture clear, but let your heart hold the trust. Let go of the pressure between them. Let your inner world become a sanctuary, not a battleground. Most of us treat our minds like a war zone, constantly fighting against negative thoughts, fighting against our past, fighting against our circumstances. But a battleground emits a chaotic, destructive frequency. A sanctuary emits a coherent, magnetic frequency. That sanctuary becomes the broadcast signal you send out into the ether. And remember, the quantum field responds to frequencies, not faces. It doesn't care who you are, what your resume says, or how many mistakes you've made. It cares about the signal you are broadcasting now. When listened to deeply, release becomes both the beginning and the end of the journey. It is both the seed and the harvest. You don't need to abandon your dreams to find peace. You need to reclaim your alignment to find your dreams. You don't need to speed run your transformation. You need to slow down into it. You don't need to control the timing of miracles. You need to welcome their timing by being the resonance that matches them. Now, we must face the shadow. We must explore exactly how resistance, even subtle, spiritualized resistance, actually reinforces the opposite of what you seek. You need to understand how trying to fix things increases friction. Ask yourself quietly, what part of me is still trying to control reality when it only needs to align with it? There comes a distinct moment in every seeker's life when they realize that resistance isn't merely a reaction to a bad situation, it is the fuel for it. You try shaping your life, molding your emotions, scripting your new identity, yet resistance, often disguised as perfectionism, self-criticism, or being realistic, becomes the signal you broadcast, and the universe, in its infinite compliance, delivers more of the same. This loop is subtle yet insidious. It is where many genuine seekers unknowingly anchor their stagnation. When you resist a part of your experience, you give it energy, you feed it. The mind of resistance is always vigilant, like a guard dog barking at shadows. It is constantly scanning for what is not aligned, what is incomplete, what is potentially flawed. That vigilance acts like a copper wire, conducting a strong electrical signal into the quantum field, amplifying the waveform of limitation. Scientifically, we could call it observer bias. Spiritual traditions know it as anchoring the undesired pattern into existence. Every time you say, "I must fix this," you're actually shaping your field around the idea that the current version of you is insufficient. Dr. Joe Dispenza speaks directly to this phenomenon. He teaches that the more you attempt to control or manipulate outcomes with your mind, the more you reinforce the identity of someone who lacks control. It creates a split. Your conscious mind wants one thing, but your body, which has been conditioned to be the mind, is addicted to the chemicals of stress and survival. That contradiction confuses the field. Your heart may say, "I trust," but your muscle memory is poised in mistrust. Your shoulders are tight, your breathing is shallow. The result is energetic interference. Imagine an orchestra where the conductor is asking for a symphony, but the musicians are all playing different tunes, out of time and out of tune. The field responds not to the sheet music, your intentions, but to the discord being played, your energy. This is why so many manifestors fall off the vibration. They learn the affirmations, they master the techniques, they speak the spiritual language fluently, but their energy is still hooked on survival. They cling to a fractured sense of identity that says, "I am not enough unless I prove myself." And the field echoes back their embedded story, not their hopeful projection. But here is where the transformation begins. Here is the open door. When you understand resistance as an energetic pattern and not a personal failure, you are no longer bound by it. You can step outside of it. You can consciously drop the reliance on struggle as a gauge for success. We are taught that if we aren't struggling, we aren't trying. That is a lie of the old paradigm. You can feel the depth of your breath, the softness beneath the hard shell, the coherence behind the clamor. The shift is seismic. You move from trying to fix your energy with effort to releasing the struggle and allowing alignment to emerge through presence. You are no longer battling your reflection in the mirror. You are inviting a new reflection to appear. How do you do this? You begin by welcoming a new mantra, a new truth. I do not need to resist what is. This is not resignation. Do not confuse surrender with giving up. Resignation is heavy. It feels like defeat. Surrender is light. It feels like relief. It is vibrational clarity. It is the willingness to be fully present with your current flow, acknowledging it without judgment, and then gently inviting what you yearn for to join you. It is a practice of merging, not modifying. It is inviting transformation, not enforcing it. Resistance is not the absence of action. It is the wrong kind of action. It is action sourced from fear, not clarity. Actions rooted in fear perpetuate the feedback loop. If you take action because you are afraid of being poor, that action carries the frequency of poverty. You cannot overcome resistance with more resistance. You dissolve it by turning your energy into resonance. In that resonance, a different reality begins to crystallize. Let us go deeper into the identity of the fixer. This identity is a mask that keeps replaying your old story. Shifting from fixing to frequency becomes a gateway into timelines that were always accessible, simply waiting for your alignment. But for now, rest in this realization. The universe isn't your opposition. It isn't a stern teacher waiting for you to fail. It is your canvas, and your frequency is the brush. There comes a moment when you realize the energy behind your every effort is what anchors your reality, not the effort itself. You have tried to fix habits, mend relationships, or tweak circumstances, acting as if those external elements are the source of the problem. Yet real change resists that structure. The field resists force. Intuition resists tension. When you shift your focus from what you must fix to who you are choosing to be, everything begins to fall away. Controlling your life signals to the universe that something fundamental has to change, and since energy follows belief, the universe keeps showing you things that need changing. But what if it's not about changing the map? What if it's about calibrating the signal? The frequency you emanate doesn't carry your agenda, it carries your trust. By letting go of controlling outcomes and tuning into coherence, you recalibrate your signal from struggle to alignment. This is the balance between intention and surrender. Intention activates the clarity of what you desire. It dials in the coordinates. Surrender softens your energy so the field can respond to those coordinates. This is not passive waiting. It is not sitting on the couch hoping a bag of money falls through the ceiling. This is allowing your heart to meet your vision without forcing the manifestation. It is planting the seed with absolute purpose and then letting the universe water it with unseen hands. You don't dig up the seed every hour to see if it's growing. You trust the soil. You trust the process. When you remain stuck in the paradigm of fixing, you recycle the same emotional tune. You might think, everything in my life will improve with enough effort. But underneath that thought is a deeper story. I am not enough as I am. And even spiritual effort can become another layer of self-judgment disguised as devotion. You can beat yourself up for not meditating well enough, for not manifesting fast enough. That is the ego hijacking your spirituality. The moment you shift, not through more effort, but through emotional spaciousness, choosing not to correct every outcome, you alter your frequency. And your frequency is what the quantum field mirrors back to you. This internal shift brings synchronicity. It brings clarity. It brings presence. You no longer need to orchestrate miracles. You simply become the signal that the mirroring reality recognizes. When your inner frequency drops the tension of trying to fix, the structures of life begin to vibrate to your new resonance. Doors open that were previously locked. Conversations align in ways you couldn't have scripted. Opportunities arrive, not because you manipulated people or circumstances, but because your presence changed. You became a match for a different reality. This shift is less resilient to force and more receptive to flow. The river doesn't surge upstream by force. It flows where the banks guide it. In the same way, you don't shift timelines through brute force. You shift them by gently steering your energy. So step into that frequency. Feel into a state of enoughness that isn't proven by your actions or your bank account, but is serene in your knowing. Let intention draw your map and surrender soften your tune. When your frequency is coherent, your life becomes the echo. In the next movements of this journey, we will dive into how surrender doesn't weaken you. It magnetizes reality. You will discover the incredible force hidden in letting go and how inner alignment becomes the most powerful form of creation. There is a resonance so profound that it renders effort irrelevant. It is not a softer form of control. It is an entirely new mode of being. This is the stillness of surrender, and paradoxically, it is the most magnetic force at your disposal. When you cease resisting, the current of life stops circumventing you and begins flowing through you. The stillness I speak of is not paralysis. It is not checking out. It is presence. It is quiet mastery. It is the state where your internal coils of must-do finally unwind, and you realize that life doesn't need coaxing. It simply needs space to unfold. In that stillness, the universe aligns with you. The energy shifts. Opportunity doesn't knock. It appears perfectly on time. Dr. Joe Dispenza expresses this exquisitely. The balance between intention and surrender is delicate, like walking a tightrope. Intention brings focus, but surrender opens the heart. When these two meet, coherence emerges. A single, unified signal shoots into the quantum field, reverberating with creation itself. Think of it as humming. If you hum with tension in your throat, squeezing the muscles, the tone fractures. It sounds strained. It doesn't travel far. But when your throat relaxes, when you open the channel, the sound becomes rich, resonant, and carries across a room. This stillness is your spiritual signature. It broadcasts clarity, not rigidity. Without it, your vibration is trapped in the loop of doing more. Even if that doing is spiritually polished, without surrender, it is just noise. Surrender doesn't negate your vision. It refines its pathway. It doesn't reduce your reach. It magnifies your frequency. When you embody surrender, you are no longer laboring for results. You are becoming the vessel through which those results naturally exist. At a quantum level, every possibility already exists in potential. The car, the house, the love, the health, it is all there as a probability wave. What shifts the possibility into the physical timeline is coherence. Your presence itself, absent the tension of trying, is what collapses waves of becoming into real-time manifestation. The universe doesn't find a way to make your dreams happen. It shapes itself around the vibrational geometry of your alignment. Letting go is not giving up. It is giving way to what already flows. It's not abandoning ambition. It's aligning ambition with instinct. It's not quieting desire. It's quieting the struggle around it. Imagine your desire as a brilliant star and surrender as the dark, vast sky. Without the darkness, the star doesn't shine. Without the background of surrender, your desire loses its brilliance. It gets lost in the glare of your anxiety. So you rest. You become still. You become the field. You embody the knowing that life is supporting your expansion, not because you forced it, but because you allowed it. You trust in timing without rushing. You trust in reading the signs without controlling them. And the universe responds not out of obligation, but out of recognition. In this state of surrender, fascination replaces frustration. Trust replaces pushing. Stillness replaces effort, and your frequency reframes your reality. We are now approaching the final integration of this journey, where we meet not your destination, but your return. Because the truth is, you were never broken. You were always becoming. And now, the becoming flows seamlessly. Society, education, and even well-meaning mentors have told us that life is about fixing, repairing, and correcting your flaws until you are finally good enough to receive your reward. But what if that very belief has been the resistance? What if the idea that you are a project to be completed is the very thing keeping you incomplete? What if no part of you is broken at all? The shift you have been chasing isn't a fix, it's a remembrance. It is the kind of realization that unfolds not through grinding with effort, but through surrendering into alignment. You discover this in moments of absolute stillness, moments when the doing stops and the being begins, when the tension of not enough yet finally quiets, and beneath it, you find a clearer hum of wholeness that was always present. That hum is your signature frequency. It is your reminder that you were never incomplete. You were simply moving through layers of identity toward your resonance. In quantum terms, everything you seek already exists in probability. The desire you broadcast is the invitation, and the feeling you hold, the emotion of the wish fulfilled, when you truly embody that invitation, is the waveform collapse. You don't fix yourself into that reality. You relax into it, not through logic, will, or strategy, but through coherence. This is the return. It is the moment you stop fighting your reflection. It is the moment you stop maneuvering, planning, optimizing, and obsessing over the how. Instead, you align. Let go of the reaction. Let go of the waiting. Waiting implies absence. Waiting implies it is not here. Stop waiting and start being. Let the circuit click without force. Let the field respond to clarity, not pressure. This is what it means to live as if. This is not faking it until you make it. It is not denying the reality of your current circumstances. Your bank account might still be low, your health might still be challenging, but you are stepping into your next version emotionally and energetically, even while daily life remains the same. You are holding the frequency of the future in the present moment. Living as if requires virtuous repetition and nervous system recalibration. You are training your body to emotionally taste the future. The more your body learns to inhabit that vibration, the faster your external reality harmonizes. Nothing in your outer world needs to change yet for you to feel this. Your internal signal changes first. You are not building a better version of yourself. You are stripping away the interference to reveal the version that is already embodied in the wavelength. And that alignment reforms everything around you. Without effort, people, opportunities and ideas ripple in accordance with your coherence. In this place, gratitude ceases to be aspirational. It ceases to be a tool you use to get things. It becomes foundational. It becomes your baseline state of being. You are not grateful for the things that have arrived. You are grateful for the alignment itself. You're not happy because you have more. You're more available to life because you are happy now. That is magnetic. The universe doesn't reward your fixes. It responds to your frequency. It gives you more of who you are. So if you are joy, it gives you reasons for joy. If you are waiting, it gives you more waiting. We have journeyed through the illusion of control, the mechanics of the quantum mirror, the alchemy of surrender, and the release of the fixer identity. Now we arrive at the threshold of your new reality. This is your closing invocation. You were never broken. You were just evolving into more alignment. You are not behind. You have not missed your boat. You were paced by your soul. The timing has been perfect. Even the delays, even the pain. It was all sculpting this moment of realization. And if you feel the resonance of this message like a deep echo in your bones, carry it forward. Do not let it fade when this video ends. Let your day, your breath, your choices ripple with this knowing. When the urge to control rises, and it will, catch it. Smile at it. Say, I see you, fear, but I choose flow. When the anxiety of how tightens your chest, breathe into it and say, I trust the timing. Let your inner world become a sanctuary. Imagine your life as a great cosmic loom. You have been trying to weave the tapestry with your bare hands, pulling threads tight, knotting them in frustration. Now, you are stepping back and letting the master weaver take over, guiding your hands with a gentle touch. You are simply the vessel for the masterpiece to emerge. There is a profound peace waiting for you on the other side of control. A peace that passes all understanding. A peace that attracts the very things you used to chase. You become the magnet. You become the vortex. You become the event horizon where dreams collapse into reality. This is not the end of your work. It is the beginning of your play. It is the beginning of experimenting with the quantum field in real time. Test it. Prove it to yourself. Soften your grip today and watch how the world softens toward you. Open your hand and watch what lands in it. If you are ready to anchor this frequency, if you are ready to stop forcing and start flowing, make a declaration right now. This is your first act of coherence. Comment below, I release control and align instead. Write it down. Etch it into the digital ether. Let that be your signal to the field today. If you're ready to expand your consciousness and step into your next quantum leap, subscribe now to Quantum Reflection. Leave a comment below with your declaration and share this message with someone ready to awaken. The shift begins with you. Welcome home to your true frequency.